Who are you?
Who am I?
Where are we?
No, literally, what are we doing right now?
We are on the set of our podcast, the very first episode of Third Wheeling. I am Louis Levanti.
And I'm the best thing that's ever happened to you, Justin.
What's your last name, Justin?
Justin Barish.
And how did we get here? Like, let's be real. Like, you've never done a podcast before.
This is my first podcast ever, yes.
Okay, this is like my fourth. Now, as everybody sees, we are two males. Mm-hmm. We are two boys. Mm-hmm. The difference between us and every other straight white male podcast is that we are not straight white males.
We're gay.
We're gay. Well, I'm bisexual. You're gay.
Yes.
Now, the difference between us and them is that we kiss in public. They don't. They might not kiss. They might. Who knows? Mm-hmm. But basically, the gist of this podcast is me and Justin love welcoming guests. We love entertaining people. Mm-hmm. And usually there's this negative connotation with third wheeling, mm-hmm. right? Like, don't you think?
Yeah, like normally third wheeling is like you don't really want to be involved like with that couple because you're always like left out of convo, you're left out of jokes. But with us, it's just like you're part of the fam, you know?
It's all fun and games with us. I feel like we want people to be as much a part of the conversation as we are. Mm-hmm. And that is the point of this podcast. We want you guys as the audience to be as involved in the conversation as us, asking questions, sending them in. And also, when we welcome guests, we want them to be our honorary third wheel where they are a part of the conversation the whole time. And it'll be so fun, so exciting. But I'm excited.
You know what's funny?
What?
When we first met, the first thing I said to you was, we should start a podcast.
Yeah.
And you waited a good 2 years till I became mentally ill to put a mic in front of me. Do you know the unhinged things I'm about to say on this podcast?
Well, that makes my life easier because personally, whenever I'm doing things like this, I always try to like take full control, and I'd rather you just be as chaotic as possible, like a little chihuahua who's just like jittering. But yeah, I mean, when you first told it to me, I think life was a little different back then because we had both just moved here. So on the topic of like, how did we get here? Yeah, in reality, we only met, I moved here September of 2021 to LA.
Yeah, I came here August of 2021.
And then we met on Halloween.
Yeah, which spooky.
Well, obviously.
Kooky.
Kabuki, yeah, like literally just batshit crazy. And I think when I first moved here, obviously when we met, there was like a different vibe, I guess, to myself where I wasn't openly out into the LGBTQ community.
You know what's funny again is that we met at a gay bar.
Yes.
And I was like,
Rocco's a WeHo.
And obviously I just assumed that you were out proud homosexual.
Oh.
But then a week after we met, you like made this whole post like, I'm coming out, and I was like, is this real? Like,
no.
Like,
let's circle back on that.
Posting this like this, it's not Pride Month.
You did not say that. What you said to me was, or you said to other people, and I found out was, I don't get it. It wasn't for you to get. So
not me low-key talking shit on you though.
Yeah, because you did say in the car driving over here today that like, I have never talked shit about you ever, liar.
I've never gone around bad-mouthing you.
True.
When I'm pissed off at you, obviously I have to rant.
Yeah, I mean, I've never really ranted about you. I rant to your face.
Yeah.
But we digress.
So
we met on Halloween. It was very spooky. I was with this like weird crowd of people that were just like, I could tell they were toxic. I feel like when there's a group of people that are just bad, like a bad group of people.
Well, there's toxic and then there's septic. And you're with septic people.
Can you explain septic to the people who don't know, like myself?
Septic is like toxic people just like don't know that they're toxic. They do all this stuff that's like bad and like red flaggy, but they don't know that they're doing it. Septic people know exactly what they're doing when they do it.
Yeah.
And that is who you were with.
Yeah.
So I saw you shaking like a chihuahua and I'm like, let me save him. Like, let me help him. So I go over to you and I'm like, hey, I'm Justin. What are you doing? Are you scared? And you were like, and I was like, cool, let's get a drink.
Mind you, he shook my hand when he first met me. I was hugging everybody and then he came up and was like, hi, I'm Justin. And I was like, ew. Okay, LinkedIn.
I'm very professional.
Yeah, but not at Rocco's WeHo when you're...
It's business all the time.
I'm in a green jumpsuit like I'm in Squid Games and you're going to shake my hand? I'm ready to go rumble. I'm ready to go win some money. I'm ready to get killed. Nice to meet you again. Well, it's on the topic of meeting each other. I guess like when you first met me, obviously you didn't know I was an influencer, but for everybody, you didn't.
No.
So, well, for everybody else watching, like I think the way I portrayed myself, so my followers know who I am, but I also am a producer. I'm a content creator. I work like a full-time job. I'm a normal person.
Yeah.
And I think a lot of people online only know me as Lewis from TikTok or Lewis from YouTube.
Yeah.
And that's, I think, where when I met you, I kind of got the taste of the opposite end where you were like, oh, like you came and like found me on LinkedIn.
Yeah, I did not go to TikTok to stalk you. I literally went to LinkedIn. Why? I have no idea. I was like, that's where you find like the real tea. Is you go to LinkedIn. That's how you find out who people actually are. And if they don't have a LinkedIn, they're not a real person.
Yeah.
Or they're not real yet.
Yeah, exactly. And I think I loved that refreshingness of that. And I think that's how we kind of grew close, was that like, you didn't know me as only an influencer, where some of our friends were like, oh, I know you from TikTok, or I met them through TikTok. Like I like became friends with people through like, you know, when you get mutuals and you DM them. That's how I met some people, and it was like, that's how they first knew me. So meeting you was like very refreshing.
Well, we met, and then I was swiping on TikTok, and you came up, and I was like, oh, cute, he's going viral. Yeah. Swipe over, I'm like, 1.9 million followers. Who is this guy? Not him at Rocco's. And not me being like, who is this?
Not me being a normal human being, going to bars, getting drunk, passing out, throwing up, screaming, crying.
Well, everyone is just a normal person. Everyone just thinks they're famous.
Yeah. It's so crazy because everything we just talked about was in the span of like a month. Like all of that happened in a span of a month. And I feel like that's like a testament to like our lives and how like life comes at you so fucking fast.
Life comes at you so fast. Like you're not ready for half of it until you're in like the heat of it. Well, and then you're like, you know, you're like screaming and you're running all over. You're on fire. You're on fire. You're running around and you're trying to figure out what the is going on.
Well, you had a crazy journey out here. Mine was very calculated and planned, and I knew it was going to happen. What happened to you is very true to who you are.
Very. I do things very sporadically, and I like to think I'm a planner, but I'm truly not. I just kind of do things just like here and there. Give
us a quick synopsis of like how you got out here, because it's a long story, but like
we can make it real short.
Yeah, there's like crazy things that happened to you, which we can touch on, but like it was wild.
Literally, I was working in Pennsylvania, living at home, which I know there's like a weird stigma with like being at home, but I was only 22, so I'm allowed to be at home.
I would kill to still be living with my parents. Free rent,
laundry, food in the house. I can barely remember to brush my teeth in the morning, let alone go grocery shopping.
When I moved away, I had to ditch the Costco membership. Like, are you kidding? I'm gonna cry.
Okay, back to me. Back to me.
Back
to me. So yeah, working a job that I hated. So I'm like, look, what do I want to do in life? And I'm like, not this.
Yeah.
So I'm like, let me be so dramatic and quit my job, pack up all my stuff, and move to LA. No job, no plan, no money, no family, 16 in the middle of LA. Okay. That was literally me.
All right, Iggy Azalea.
I'm literally Iggy. And yeah, I just came out here and like made things work, which like, sounds fun and all, but I was spiraling, which a whole other thing with like life comes at you fast. It's like, you don't really see people when they're like super down. You only see them when they're like doing their best. So it's like, I'm like here now, but it's like, it was a journey to get here, literally and figuratively.
I don't even think it's just you. I feel like everybody I had met. So my moving out here journey was like mine's a very quick story. I always wanted to move here, went to school that sent me out here for a semester. I was like, I want to live in LA. It fell perfectly. I transferred jobs out here, flew here, got all my stuff here. Super easy, super chill. But everybody,
you flew here.
I was not driving across the country.
I drove a week in every state, drove through it, saw a tornado in Kansas. I was literally Dorothy. I was like, ah! No, actually, I wasn't screaming. I was kind of like seeing it, and I was like, I should get gas.
Yeah.
And so I stopped and got gas and like watched it pass.
Yeah, but then when I got here, it was like everyone who I had met, I felt like, I think it's this fake it till you make it mentality. Even when like life is happening, you try to put on like all this face where it's like, I was out at these bars, I'm like, oh, these people are living the dream. Like, they have no care in the world. They're spending hundreds of dollars on alcohol, and I'm like having a little mental breakdown because I'm like, oh, I just spent $20 on a tequila soda.
Yeah.
And these people are doing it every single week, 5 times a week. And it was just weird to see. And then seeing the flip side, when we started to get close, you were like, I'm spiraling every single day. I just cried in my car.
Yeah.
I forgot to eat today.
Well, also I trauma dumped you out of nowhere.
Yes.
I was like, hey, can you talk? And you were like, yeah, we just met. What's up? And I'm like, I hate the place I live. I have no job. Help me. Can you help me? Whatever. But to go back on one thing that you said, I hate the term fake it till you make it.
Yeah.
I hate that because it's like, it's easier said than done.
Yeah.
And also I wear my heart on my sleeve. So I'm like, if I'm spiraling, I'm going to tell you, I'm going to show you, and I'll probably cry.
I think the thing that, not to like toot our own horns, but a lot of people tell us about us that we're very authentic people. If I'm spiraling.
Okay. If you're calling yourself authentic, you're not authentic.
But we are though. Like I mean, that's not a thing to me. I am authentic. If I'm spiraling, I'm going to tell you I'm spiraling. If I'm having a hard time, I'm going to tell you that. I'm not going to be like, everything's dandy and rainbows. No, if I'm having a fucking mental breakdown, I'm going to tell you I cried in my car to my mom, wanted to quit my job, leave the country. That happens. I think that is authentic, and being that, and I've been that for how many years on TikTok and stuff like that. But I think too, a big thing with like coming to LA was I had to come to terms with the fact that I was going to eventually come out and do a lot of stuff. And it led to me to like, I wasn't dating, but I was like looking for people to like hook up with, essentially.
Right.
What was it like for you when you first came out here? Because we didn't really talk about this. We were just friends, but like before we were dating, we're just friends and we're like looking at other people.
Right.
So did you have like any terrible like dating experiences? Because I feel like everybody tries to fill the void here.
Yeah. I try to be like this bad bitch, like, oh yeah, boys are just like tissues. I'll just use them and throw them out and be like that, right?
Oh, I'm just a Kleenex.
Well, okay, well, not you, but that's what my mom taught me. Boys are like tissues. You just blow your nose and, you know.
I'm a sham wow in that case. So you're not throwing me away.
Put them in the trash. But in reality, I'm really sensitive. So I'm like, when I'm talking to a guy, I'm like, oh God, I hope he's thinking about me and likes me and blah, 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 blah. So like when I first moved out here, I really got thrown to the wolves. And I like didn't want to date, but then like started talking to everyone because I was just like, oh, people like me. Yay, yay, yay. But in the grand scheme of things, it was not good for like my mental health. And I like wasn't staying true to who I was because I was just like playing this part that like everyone else like wanted me to play.
Because again, like life is moving so much faster than we are. Like we're trying to experience as much as we can. Whether it's moving to LA or just like a new city in general, I feel like a lot of people are trying to experience the world in a different way than before they knew it. Which kind of similar to me with, I wasn't dating or talking to people. I was using Grindr.
Not the Grindwald.
But think about it. I was just like you. You were like, I was thrown to the wolves essentially. And that's how I felt with these people where like, it was normalized. So I was like talking to people through that, and it made me feel really icky. And I never used it again after one horrible, horrible experience.
Tell me about it.
I thought I was actually...
do I know this?
Yeah. Yes? No. I thought I was going to die. And it was this night I deleted Grindr. I went to like the west side by like the bungalow. Everybody goes to the bungalow, all the straights.
The bungies.
The straighties. I went there and I was like talking to people on Grindr because I was just kind of bored with the night. And someone was like, oh, come over, whatever. I get there and we're doing whatever we need to do. Mom, I'm so sorry.
What are you doing?
We're just...
doing that.
Stop it. Mom, tune out.
You're doing a little bit of this.
So we're doing that, and obviously there is the culture of poppers, which I know as these little bottles that like don't do much, like you just sniff them, whatever. I'm laying down. Oh God, this is getting
oh my God, not you laying down.
This guy, and I remember his name, and I'm not gonna say it, but he whipped out a full-on can of something, like a Lysol can or something. Started shaking it, and I'm like, oh shit.
You're like, this is it. You're like, he's about to throw me in a trunk, drive away, and dump my body into the ocean.
Cut me up into little bits and just scatter them around the United States. He shakes this can, and mind you, I'm in this gorgeous apartment complex or whatever. I'm like, oh, he's a rich killer. He's like a Ted Bundy. He shakes it and he sprays a rag, and I was like, oh, chloroform.
You're like, here I go. Bye, Mom.
Bites it. And I'm like, why is he biting it?
You're like, is he drugging himself?
I'm like, what's happening? I was like, are we both gonna die? and he goes like this, and I'm like, oh, here it comes. Here it comes. And he goes, do you want some? I was like, no.
You're like, is it an option if I wanted to be drugged?
I was like, I'm good. And after everything was said and done, I was like, wait, what was that? And he was like, oh, it's poppers. And in my head, I'm like, this guy's bat crazy. I need to get out. I fled.
Well, you ran. You left right there?
I left.
What do you say in that moment?
I was like, he was like, oh, do you want to hang out? I was like, no, I have to go home. And I left.
What was your excuse though?
I'm always really so curious. It was like 2 a.m. I was like, oh no, I need to go home. I have to do something in the morning. I don't remember the exact excuse, but I left. And I never looked back. I deleted Grindr, and that was it.
And then you met me, and now your life is perfect.
Yeah. Oh. I mean, with you, it is perfect.
Yeah.
And I think something a lot of people see on the internet is like us posting together, posting pictures. And I think a unique thing about us, at least I feel this way, is like our relationship that we put out there is literally that. We are who we are. I don't know if you feel differently because now you're not answering me.
No, I'm totally kidding. Everything that we post is definitely like very true to us. I wouldn't post it if it wasn't me.
Yeah.
You know?
I think we have to, we always say this to each other. If anybody was in a room with us and we're talking about things, they would be like, you're weird. Like, you're a weird couple.
Like, I'm literally barking at you on this podcast.
Yeah. He also barked at me in his sleep one time, in case anybody was wondering. That's a story for another time.
That's a story for another time.
But basically, I just feel like, too, we have like these, you say it, we have these Hannah Montana lives as a couple.
Yes, we literally do, because yes, we work like full time. We go to Trader Joe's, we walk our pretend dog, we, you know, just live like civilian lives. But then on the other half of things, we're going to events with like David Dobrik, Tana Mojo, and like
we're walking red carpets.
We're walking red carpets. Like, who invited us to that? Why are we there?
I did not have any Getty images before I moved here, and now I have like a page full of Getty images where I'm like at all these events, which is so exciting.
Well, you have millions of followers. Why do I have a Getty's image? Why do I have multiple?
You have hundreds of thousands of followers. So, but yeah, it's
concept.
I feel like that's the thing, is like sometimes couples are either like they're a social media couple or they're just a regular couple. And I feel like we're a mix of both. And I think we get that good balance of each other where it's like you see me when I'm stressed about work, but then you see me in my element at like social events and it's like super different.
Yeah.
It's work, but it's not work in that case.
It's work. Everything's work. Honestly, like I've gotten to this point in life where I'm like, everything's just work. I'm trying to catch a bag, catch a check somehow. So it's like, which personality do I turn on for what?
Yeah.
Because at work, I'm like on it, sending that, yes, ma'am, yes, sir, whatever. But I'm at an event, I'm like, yeah, woo! Well, actually, I'm not like that either.
Yes, you are. Because I almost feel like I'm the, I don't want to call you a dog because that would sound like I'm a terrible boyfriend, but that's not true. But I'm trying to like.
What kind of dog though?
You would be I think you would be a French bulldog.
Okay.
You'd be like a little, you'd be a French bulldog.
Yeah.
I would be,
you'd be a Rottweiler.
Oh.
You're like, rah, 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 rah.
No, I'm not.
Yes,
I'm
you
like
are.
quiet and then I'm like a corgi.
You are not quiet. You never shut the fuck up.
Oh. Maybe that's why we're doing a podcast together.
Yeah, that's why we have these.
But also, too, I don't think you turn on different personalities. I want to come back to that.
Okay.
You were like, oh, I do like different personalities. I think when you work at a corporate 9-to-5 job, you're mindless.
Oh. I go in there and I'm like, vroom.
Exactly. No offense to my job, love what I do, love like having a job that I've been in this company for 3 years now. Like obviously I would have left if I hated it.
Right.
But I think there is something refreshing about being able to do stuff for yourself. Like I consider this podcast work, but I also consider it fun.
Yeah.
Where like I don't walk in and like, oh God, I have to do this, like or that or whatever. But at the end of the day, it's a good thing to put out. I'm like, I'm so excited to do this. I loved planning it. It was a little stressful, but like here we are, we're doing it. And when it's said and done, we're going to be so happy. Whereas with a work environment, you're like, oh, I have to do this. Oh, there's an end product. But like, oh, I have to do this every week until I die.
Yeah. How depressing.
Yeah, it's sad.
To work until you die?
Yeah.
Not for me. I'm going to work, get my bag, and I'm done by 30.
No, you're not.
Yes, I am.
No, you're not.
Yes, I am.
In this economy?
In this economy, I will be done working by 30.
I want to do that by 35, and I still am realistic.
Well, that's good for you. You can keep working till 35. Me? I'm out.
Justin thinks that this relationship is going to turn into him being a housewife, but here's the thing. I would fully endorse that. I would fully endorse him being the real housewife of wherever we live. And the only thing is that a housewife usually has some sort of skills in the household.
I have many skills.
You don't know how to cook.
I'll list them. Huh?
You don't know how to cook.
I know how to cook.
No. You don't know how to take care of things.
What do you mean?
We have a dead plant, so you would probably want a dog as a housewife.
You killed that plant.
I did not kill it.
You killed that plant and you know it. Her name is, let me preface this. Her name is Dolores. She was beautiful green, long, gorgeous girl. I leave for a week. I decide to go back to my own apartment, hide out for a bit. I come back. Dolores, dead. Dead. You killed her. And what do you have to say for yourself?
You know what I have to say for myself? When you're in a partnership, a relationship, a marriage eventually. When you go through maybe an adoption process, that's mutually agreed upon. This plant, no offense to Julia, our friend who gave it to us, love her.
We killed that thing.
Love the plant. I did not agree. Justin was like, I'll take it. And then he takes it and goes, Lewis, can we leave it at your house? And now it's dead.
Well, look, it was a gift to you. So how dare you say you didn't agree to it? I was gifting it to you.
You were like, I don't want to take care of this, so here, you take it. And guess what happened? I didn't take care of it because I'm a busy bee.
And now she's dead. But back to me not cooking. I cook. Yeah. What did I make last night?
I don't know.
Well, I ate it.
Oh,
it
he microwaved cacio e pepe gnocchi. Like, that's not cooking, that's microwaving food that's frozen.
Also, the air fryer, my best friend. If you're not using an air fryer, you need to get on it, because that's how I cook.
But, oh my God, the way you use the air fryer.
And how do I use it?
Justin had to learn how to use an air fryer, first of all. You think it's just like, yep, put it in, beep, 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 boop, boop, boop. Justin took raw chicken, slapped that shit in the air fryer, no aluminum foil, no nothing, so it's just like chicken juice everywhere. And he puts it in, turns on, I'm like, whoa, 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 whoa. What did you just put in there? He goes, chicken. I open it. If we could just take a guess as to what it looked like, it was unseasoned. There was nothing on it, no salt, no pepper, not even like a little garlic powder, garlic salt, not even anything.
Yeah.
And he's like, oh, well, I thought that the air fryer just flavors it.
Well, when you have this amazing machine that cooks your food perfectly, I thought it was f***ing seasoning it with salt, pepper, garlic. I don't know where it came from, but I was just like, let me push some buttons and it'll come out like Gordon Ramsay made it.
Yeah.
But back to the housewife thing.
Well, I think it's so interesting though, like talking about our relationship, looking at other people's relationships, like we met first as best friends. And I think the best friend to relationship pipeline is...
Everyone needs it.
Everybody needs it. It's slept on. I think a lot of people are too worried about finding someone out one night that just like miraculously connects with them, where it's like our relationship built. It was friends first, then it was best friends, and then it was like, okay, we're talking,
right,
seeing where it goes, and now here we are.
Well, I think the thing with like people are out like looking to like date people, so it's like you don't know them, and then you're like dating, and then like issues arise, and like they're shocked. They're like, oh my God, my boyfriend's cheating on me. And I'm like, because your boyfriend barely knows you. You've only known each other for like 4 weeks, and now you're dating. Whereas like prior to you, I've like had previous boyfriends, and like with them I always knew like this was ending. I was like foot in, foot out, because I was like, again, but like with you, I like feel like this is my best friend. Like, why would I treat my friend negatively? So I'm like, it builds like a stronger foundation. Yeah, I think it takes time. Like one, you're the first person I've like truly dated, I would say. Like I've dated people, but it never, I know, I'm a type of person where I know if it's worth it or not. And if I didn't like actually like love you and want to be with you, I would have ended it week 1. I wouldn't even have went into it. Like to be honest, I think we would have just been friends. Not because of you or anything. I would have just ended it solely for the fact that I know in my heart of hearts, like that I just wouldn't want that. Oh. But other people, I feel like the chosen one. Well, think about it. Like, just like us, other people around the world are moving, picking up their lives, going places quickly. They want like that quick fix. It's like, I moved to a new place. I need a job. I need a boyfriend. I need this. Where in relationships, it's the same thing. Like they think when they go out, they have to find someone. Nothing comes quickly in life. Nothing happens overnight. And I think society has like made these like false claims where it's like you see these like people blow up overnight, or like you see people become stars or famous, and it's like that was not happening. Like people have been working at that for like years on years on years. And it's like people have been dating for years and years and years. It's like no one just goes out and it's just like, oh my God, my husband just fell out of thin air. Like it's not like that. Like everything takes time, patience. So with the whole thing, like life comes at you fast. It's like, yeah, it's gonna hit you like a fucking truck, but it's gonna be hitting you constantly. It's just gonna take time. Yeah, I think too, I don't know, I feel like if you're constantly seeking something, like it's almost like, you ever play Call of Duty? Probably not, you're gay. Yeah, I played it, but on the Wii though. So I feel like that is gay because I had a fake holder thing for like the Wii remote.
Geez.
So I'm like literally like going around like, but like that's so gay if I think about it, because boys are like,
yeah.
Where
so
I'm like, look at my props.
You're like, you know, I'm acting. That was acting.
I know. I'm like, I'm acting.
I played. What was my point? My point was, so I was like, think of Call of Duty, the game of like search and destroy.
Yes.
That game is like your sole goal in that, I think 10 minutes is like to find the thing that you need to blow up, and that's how you win. Where I think everybody in relationships or in LA or in anywhere like in the dating scene are playing a game of search and like cuff, where it's like, I need someone after tonight, I need to be married, I need to have children on the way, I need to have the wedding of my dreams, where it's like, that's not how it works.
Yeah.
And it could work like that for you.
Go for it.
But it didn't work like that for us.
I'm exhausted.
Yeah.
I'm not trying to play a game every day.
No.
I just go out, shake a little.
Yeah.
And that attracts the men.
Yeah. Well, I actually, on the topic of just like us and the podcast being third wheeling, we did have a lot of people send in some questions for us, because I think we've always let people in on our lives, and we want them to ask us the question.
Question
of the
time.
day.
Question time.
So I'll propose a question to you.
Okay.
Ready? So the
I'm
first
ready.
person asked, what made you fall in love with each other?
These are the questions? That is
the first
so gay.
one.
Okay.
You probably submitted it.
I probably did. I was like, this, boop, boop, boop. I want to hear myself speak.
Oh my God.
I don't know. I think it was more of a build. Like, I think, because at first when you first like came to me, you were like, I like you. And I was like, we can't be together. We can never be together.
I don't think you said that actually.
And you were like, come on, just like think about it. And I was like, okay, sure. But then when I actually like sat down like with my feelings, like you matched everything that I like wanted out of a guy.
Just not me being like perfect.
You're just perfect.
Also, that's not how that conversation happened,
Okay.
but I'm not going to get into it.
I don't even think I answered the question, but.
You did. You said it was a build.
It was a build.
What is the craziest thing we've done as a couple? I have mine.
We flew to fucking Australia.
That was mine. We literally picked, like, mind you, we've only been dating for what now? A year and 2 or 3, 4 months, whatever it is. I don't know. After a year, it doesn't really matter.
Like, and that is a short period of time. In the
Yes.
grand scheme of life, people are like, a year, we've been together for so long. I'm like, bitch, I barely know you still. Well, no, I mean, no, but actually, like, seriously.
We know each other in some aspects, but I look at Justin, I'm like, Justin could still be a serial killer and murder me in my sleep. I would never know.
You would never know. Well, no.
You wouldn't do that.
Never,
We wouldn't
because
do that.
I'm sleeping through the night.
Yes.
I would never be bothered to wake up and kill you.
There's
I would do it during the day or something.
There was a magnitude 5 earthquake and neither of us woke up. So at that point, we're just too dumb for our own good. I think the craziest thing we did was fly to Australia. We only have known each other for a year and 6 months. We had this crazy opportunity come up within like a matter of 2 weeks. And I called you and you were like, let's do it. It's done. Like, we'll figure it out, whatever.
Now we're on a plane, boxing kangaroos, swimming in the whatever ocean that is.
At Bondi Beach, like
what?
Working public transportation in another country, like it was crazy.
Who does that?
I think that was the craziest thing ever, and that was submitted by my friend Brittany, and she was probably like, I know exactly.
Hey, Brittany.
Hey, Britt. Someone asked this. I find it funny. Someone was like, "How are you really doing, emotionally, mentally, physically?"
Well, I said at the beginning of the episode that this is the most mentally ill I've ever been in my life. I'm down bad, but we're fine.
Yeah.
We're fine.
Think of those videos where they're like, will I survive this car crash? And it's like all the different cars going. I'm the one that's like tumbling constantly that never ends.
My car's on fire going off of a ramp into like a pool full of piranhas.
Yeah. We're just like, but in all seriousness, I think we're doing pretty good for, being 26, being 24. Like,
we're fine.
We have so much life ahead of us. Like, we should be making the mistakes now. We should be feeling this way now, but I don't know. I'm happy. Regardless of what goes on, I'm happy.
Yeah, I'm fine. I'm happy.
I'm fine.
I'm fine.
Correct that.
Like a single tear is like coming down my face. I'm like, help me.
Yeah. The next question is, someone asked if we are you all in on Orange Theory now that we do Orange Theory classes because we've popped our cherry? Girl, I spend $200 a month. I'm all in on that shit.
Who's asking these questions?
She actually was an Orange Theory coach.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh, well, I'm loving it.
Yeah.
I feel skinny.
We'd love a discount.
I'm slaying. I feel healthy. I should probably go more. I'm paying so much for it, but that's besides the point.
All right, next one. If you were a woman for the day, what would you do?
I would literally strip down naked and run through the streets, flaunting my sexy body.
My answer would have been, I probably would just do the same thing I'm doing now, but I'd be a woman. Like what?
Like if
nothing would change.
Was a woman, I'm picturing myself being like Bella Hadid and just like strutting around.
So you're like, I'm not just a woman, I'm going to be like a supermodel woman.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah. Very different wavelengths here. My life wouldn't change, I don't think. Like little aspects of it would change because obviously things are different, but did either of us play sports in high school? Don't talk. Justin will never ever freeze an opportunity to talk about the fact that he was a swimmer in high school. The only sports players that will continuously talk about the sport that they played in high school are swimmers and divers and football players. They will always say, oh, swimming was the best exercise I've had. And football players will be like, yeah, I was like a D1 champion in high school. Babes, doesn't matter. Floor is yours.
I'm speechless. Never once am I like, oh my God, yeah, swimming is the best exercise. I love it so much. Blah, 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 blah.
Yes, you have.
When?
You were like, literally the other day, oh, I need to get back to swimming. I was the most in shape when I was a swimmer.
Okay, yes. Swimming's hot. Swimming is like one of the best sports ever. So yeah, I swam in high school and played volleyball.
I think swimming is a traumatic sport, actually. Like, you're constantly underwater. You're like a wet dog when you get out. You have the goggle lines.
Bitch, I'm a dolphin. I'm elegant in the water.
You're like a seal.
I'm like a whale.
Well, I played soccer, so I was a little foot fairy. I miss soccer, I have to say.
Wait, pause.
Oh.
Soccer is the #1 sport to produce gay people.
You sure it's not swimming?
No, soccer.
I think we have a lot of friends
who are
swimmers.
Soccer is the sissiest little sport, kicking your ball with your feet, running around.
Let's talk about sissy
not
sports.
Touching each other, kind of like bumping into each other, being like, ooh.
Oh, so we're the sport that produces the most gay people because we touch each other, and you just said for swimming you don't touch each other, but like...
We don't touch each other. We're in separate lanes. How am I touching someone else?
So you're a sissy. You don't touch each other. We have contact with no pads.
I'm powering through the water like a machine.
Okay. Yeah, anyways, see? Swimmers. What about them? Do you have any celebrity crushes? Have we ever talked about our hall passes?
Oh, no.
Who is your celebrity hall pass where I would have to just like let you go do that?
Oh my God.
I think I have mine.
I have so many. Do I just have to pick one?
You can pick two.
Okay. I'll pick one. Dave Franco.
Ew.
What?
Mine's Bad Bunny.
No, it's not.
Oh, who is it then?
It's Omar.
Oh, Omar Apollo.
Because we were watching him at Coachella, and you're literally drooling, and I'm like,
oh my God.
And you go, I have to tell you something, and I'm like, what? And you're like, that's my hall pass, and I'm like, okay, great. You're never gonna meet him ever, but great. I love that for you. That's your hall pass.
Well, Justin, I have to tell you something.
What?
You just made it through your first ever full podcast episode. That's crazy.
I did it. Oh my God.
That's nutty.
Look at me.
Did you have fun?
I had so much fun. Thank you so much for having me.
You're literally a part of this.
This was great. I'll see you next week.
No, that's not how that works. But obviously, third wheeling, I am just so excited to have this with you and like welcome so many people into like our conversations and our daily life. If you want to keep watching third wheeling, you can tune in on YouTube, Spotify, Apple Podcasts, and anywhere else you get your podcast to listen to us. And if you love this, give us a like and subscribe. And if you hated it,
give it a like and subscribe.
And share with your
send
friends.
me a hate comment. Send me a hate message. I'll read it.
Share with your friends, your siblings, your sisters, your moms. Your moms love us.
Your moms, your dads, your grandmas, your grandpas, anyone, your dogs.
All of the above.
All the above. Well,
did you have fun?
I had a blast.
Right. Until next time, come third wheel with us.
Bye.
Bye.
Was that good?
I'm sweating my titties off.
I'm sweating.